Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how to set up your GoPro camera for time lapses. Now I have had some questions about what settings I've used, more specifically in the video where I set up the tent. We were out in the state forest and I took the time lapse of us pretty much setting up our campsite. So the first thing you want to do is turn your GoPro on, and then you're going to select this mode button or press this mode button until you get all the way over to the wrench. Now this is your settings option, so then you select that. And then you're going to go over and press the mode button again until you get to this icon. It's the camera with the little clock face behind it. Right now it's set for 5 seconds. And what this allows you to do is it allows you to set the interval for pictures that are taken. So if you've got some fast moving object, if you're taking a time lapse of cars driving around, you can set it for 1 second or 2 seconds. And what this does is it'll take a picture every second or 2 seconds. And this is how you get that time lapse. A time lapse is really just a bunch of still photos that have been combined into a video. And so in order to understand how to get the smoothest playback and the best settings, you're going to have to play around with it. For what we were doing, where we were just setting up our campsite, didn't want a really long time lapse, and sometimes you get some cool effects, but for the most part, you're going to be gauging your time interval off of the motion that you're capturing. And so I had it set for 5 seconds. With the GoPro, it also allows you to do 10 seconds, 30 seconds, or even up to a minute in between each photo. So for the video that I did today, which was me actually taking down a tent that I had set up in the backyard, I used a 5-second interval. So then you would select it by pressing the button at the top, and then you can go back to this exit option and it'll bring you back to your main settings. So now you want to just press the mode button until you actually get to your time-lapse mode, which is the camera with the clock face behind it, and you're set to go. At the very bottom, next to the battery life, you can see it says 4,671. That is the number of pictures I'll be able to take. And then you can see it says 12 megapixels, that's the resolution that I've got it set at, and then the time is 5 seconds. That's pretty much all it takes to set up your GoPro for a basic time-lapse. You can get into more advanced options by using the Pro Tunes mode, which will give you some more creative control over the whole video, but for this time-lapse, I just set it up for 5 seconds on auto settings. So now that I have my video imported into the GoPro Studio, I'm not going to show you how to convert it, how to export it, and all of that. I'm just going to show you what settings I have used. For this one in particular, I've got the image size at its native size right out of the camera, which is the source size. You can also change that to 1080p. You can also change that to 720. And it gives you a bunch of different other settings. There's standard definition, 480p. Well, actually, technically, I believe that's enhanced definition. Now, I'll keep it at the source because I want it to remain high quality. I don't want it to be crushed down so that when I place it into Premiere, mixing it with other footage, I can match up the footage or I can make other types of edits to this and still have that same quality. I like to click on the deflicker, especially since when I was taking this time lapse, clouds were rolling by, covering up the sun at certain points, and so that changes the exposure for different images. And it reflects in the video as this flicker. You can see the exposure change. Similar to if your camcorder was on auto settings and you move from an indoor to an outdoor setting, it's more pronounced in the time lapse. The file format, you can select either AVI or MOV, it does not matter which. You can select low, medium, or high for the quality. I always keep it at high quality. And then I like to select remove fisheye. It's more of a personal preference. If you like that fisheye look, then by all means use it. For me, it's just depending on what I'm actually filming or what I'm actually taking a time lapse of, I may like to remove that fisheye. And then I'll select OK. So one thing you don't want to forget is down here you want to save and change your directory unless you have it already set up to save in a particular folder where you put all your time lapses in. And those are the settings that I use. Exporting is pretty much straightforward. There's nothing special about it. It tells you, if you're exporting for YouTube, click on YouTube. If you're exporting for, full playback on the computer or TV, you can select the 720 or the 1080 option, or you can keep it at its highest quality with this archive edit option. So if you're going to do more editing to it later on in different software, you retain majority of that quality, so that you're able to keep the resolution, keep all the detail, and actually make some final edits to it. Thanks for watching. I hope that this helps you out with some of the settings and how to change them within your GoPro, especially if you're just getting started. So if you have any comments or questions, leave a comment, subscribe, contact me on Twitter. Thanks for watching.